All in today's session we'll talk about the polarization of the wave. Now let us see what is the definition of the polarization. So the polarization of a wave refer to the time varying behavior of the electric field strength vector at some fixed point in the space. Now here we'll see that the first that whatever variations are there is nothing but the with respect to the x. So here I can say Ex wave can be defined like this. So if I am going to define a Ex wave, the variations will be with respect to the, I can say, x. So this I can say the vector is having this kind of the variations. So I'll say this is nothing but the Ex wave. Now I'll see in another diagram how the Ey wave behavior will be there, otherwise how Ey wave can be denoted. So here I can see I have this kind of the variations. So I can say this is nothing but the Ey wave. Now let us see how mathematically we can denote this particular waves. So here let us consider the wave traveling in the plus z direction. Here this is positive z direction, both the waves are traveling in the positive z direction, and hence the Ex and Ey component. So if I am interested in writing the Ex component, I'll write the Ex component in this particular wave. So Ex is equal to E1 cos omega t minus kz, and Ey can be written as a E2. Here I'll denote this particular as a E2, and this I'll denote as, I can say, the E1. So E2 cos of omega t minus kz, and let us say that this particular wave not start immediately here. This is having a delta kind of the gap, so this will be the minus gamma. So this is nothing but the how we are going to mathematically define this particular waves. Now let us see what is the meaning of each and every particular term in this particular equation. So where E1, if I am interested in what is the E1, E1 here is nothing but the amplitude of wave in x direction. E2 is nothing but the amplitude of wave in y direction, and this delta is equal to phase angle between Ex and Ey. As I have told you, this wave doesn't start immediately over there from, you can say, at the start. So there is the gap. My wave starts here, and this is the gap of delta over here. So here delta is nothing but the phase angle between Ex and the Ey. Now let us see what do you mean by the polarization, and let us see what are the types of the polarization. There are three types of the polarization: linear polarization, elliptical polarization, and a circular polarization. Now let us see the definition of the linear polarization first. So wave is said to be a linear polarized if the electric field as a function of time remains along a straight line at some fixed point in space. So you are going to obtain a linear polarization if it satisfies the three conditions as we have already discussed. The first one is nothing but the wave has only Ex component. The wave has only Ex component, or the wave has only Ey component, and the third, the wave has both Ex and EY and are in phase. So in all the three cases 1, 2 and 3, the direction of the resultant vector is constant with the time and the wave is said to be linearly polarized. Elliptical polarization. A wave is said to be elliptically polarized when the electric field as a function of time traces a ellipse. So consider here, you can consider here you are having a E1 is not equal to E2 and delta is equal to 90 degree. So the phase difference of 90 degree indicates that when EY is at its peak value, whereas I can say whenever I have a EY is equal to E2 at EX is equal to 0, or you can say when EY is equal to its peak value you will have Ex is equal to 0 value, and as Ey starts decreasing, as your Ey starts decreasing, your Ex start increasing. So this is the meaning of the electrical polarization. So when Ey goes to 0 and Ex reaches to maximum value E1 and so on. So here when your Ey goes to 0, your Ex at that time will be the E1. So these variations you can see in the diagrams which is there. So at t is equal to, you are having the maximum, I can say value of say if it is the E2, your Ex will be 0 if this is the y kind of things. Okay, and the next one, as Ey decreases, as you can see your Ey decreases, your Ex increases, and as Ey is equal to 0, your Ex will be E1. So this is all about the elliptical polarization. So in this case, if you join the tips of the phasors, the locus of the end point of the resultant E will be an ellipse and the wave is said to be elliptically polarized wave. Circular polarization. A circular polarization can be defined as a wave is said to be circularly polarized when the electric field as a function of time traces a circle. So the elliptical polarization can become a circular polarization by applying the condition that E1 must be equal to E2 and your delta must be equal to 90 degree. So here in this case, if we join the tips of the phasors, the locus of the end point of the resultant E will be a circle and the wave is to be said as a circularly polarized wave. Now here you can see that when I am having this at t is equal to 0, in the next, if I talk at the time, I can say t is equal to t by 8, and this is my wave at t is equal to, I can say 4, or this is nothing but the my wave at t is equal to, I can say uh, t by 8, I can say this is the t by 4, this is 3t by 8, and this I can say the wave which I am having t is equal to t by 2. So if you see, or if you see the phasors at each and every time, you will find that your E1 is equal to E1 is equal to E2 and you will have a delta is equal to 90 degree over here. So this is all about the circular polarization. Let us talk about the sense of the rotation and the sense of the polarization. Now in both circular and elliptical polarization, the tip of the vector can rotate either clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Thus the wave is said to be right polarized or the left polarized. Okay. Now let us talk about first the right hand polarization in the sense of rotation. So if the fingers of your right hand curling the direction of rotation of the electric field, then that polarization will be called as the right hand polarization, and it is also denoted by clockwise polarization, CW polarization. Now another condition, if the finger of the left hand curling the direction of the rotation of the electric field, then that polarization will be called as a left hand polarization, and that will be denoted, or that can be also called as a counterclockwise polarization. So that is all about the clockwise polarization and counterclockwise polarization. Now let us talk about the polarization loss factor. So consider a linearly polarized wave is traveling in a space when the linear receiving antenna is standing. Now here the antenna will extract the maximum power from the wave provided antenna orientation is same as the electric field vector of the wave. So if it is not so, then the power extracted will be less than the maximum. So we consider this as a loss due to polarization mismatch, called as a polarization loss. Now let us understand that electric field of the incident wave, that is EI, is equal to EI AW bar, whereas AW bar is nothing but the unit vector of the wave. So here, if we are considering the polarization, we consider the polarization of the electric field of the receiving antenna. So EA is nothing but the polarization of the electric field of the receiving antenna, which is nothing but the EA AA bar. So whereas AA bar is nothing but the unit vector of electric field of the antenna. Now these two unit vectors are, we can find out these two unit vectors as we have already shown here. AW and AA in this particular formulas can be shown by this one. So here this will be AW and this is nothing but the A bar E, and this is the phi of P. So here we can see that these are the two unit vectors. The loss due to the polarization mismatch is expressed in terms of the polarization loss factor. So we are right now interested in the polarization loss factor, which is denoted by PLF. So this is arises due to polarization mismatch. So if there is a polarization mismatch, I'll find this polarization loss. So PLF is equal to AW into AA bar square. So which is nothing but the cos of 5P square, which we have shown here, this particular thing. So whereas phi of P is equal to angle between two unit vectors. So here we can see two unit vectors. So I can say this 5P is nothing but the angle between two unit vectors. Now if two unit vectors are perfectly aligned, now we'll consider here two conditions, that if this A and AA are, I can say these are the perfectly aligned, what will happen? So in this perfectly aligned condition, I'll have a phi of P is equal to 0, as cos of phi P is equal to 1. So the polarization loss factor will be 1. So we know that cos of 0 is equal to 1. So in this situation, antenna will exact the maximum power from the wave. So I can say maximum power extracted by antenna. Now let us consider the another condition, which is nothing but the, if two unit vectors are perpendicular, what will happen? We have seen that these are perfectly aligned. Now we'll see the another condition, that if two unit vectors are perpendicular, that is 5, I can say if two unit vectors are perpendicular. So in this particular condition, I will have a phi of P, this angle is equal to 90 degree. So I can say cos of phi P is equal to 0, and the polarization loss factor will be 0. So in this case, antenna will not extract any power. So antenna will not extract any power. as there is no alignment between your wave and your antenna polarization. So polarization loss factor, I can say the maximum, and my antenna is not going to extract any power out of it. Now what will happen if the two unit vectors have angle 5p? So I am considering if two unit vectors are having or have angle of 5p. So here cos of 5p is less than 1, therefore your polarization loss factor will be less than 1. So it gives the power extracted less than the maximum possible power. So the polarization pass factor is a dimensionless quantity, and in the decibel it will be expressed as. So here if I consider this particular condition, I can say your power extracted will be less than maximum possible power. Now we'll talk about the polarization loss factor. This is nothing but the, we can say, as we have already seen, this is polarization loss factor is the dimensionless quantity. Then how I am going to find out the polarization loss factor in the dB? So this will be the 10 log to the base 10 PLF. Now this PLF will be the dimensionless. So this is all about the polarization loss factor. We'll stop here. Thank you.